Mark, let me ask you a question. What's your take on whether we should be sending money to Ukraine or not? Were you in favor of that?
Man, they need it.
I mean, honestly,
I
don't have a good answer. You know, I can make an argument both ways, and half my family is Ukrainian from my grandparents. And so, you know, personally, I think we should help, but I don't have a studied answer for you.
How much money have you sent to Ukraine?
None.
Oh, so what do you mean by we? You're the one whose family's from Ukraine. Like, why don't you send them $1 billion?
Because I'm trying to fix healthcare.
Why don't you fix their healthcare if you're like so deep? If you think we need to help, why don't you start? How about you first? Yeah. I notice that's never like even an option for anybody. It's like, we need to help. That's not what charity is. Forcing other people to help is not charity,
Here's the
it's
good
vanity.
News. The good news is all the weapons were on loan lease. We're getting it back. And our dear President, Trump, has negotiated that we own half the minerals. So he turned this horrible tragedy of a war into a profit center, which is one of his unique gifts. I think we can all agree.
Can I just...
The old adage, the end reveals the truth. Even if that is, I don't even know if that is truth, but good old Trump has all the minerals of Ukraine. It's funny how that works, right? Yeah, it makes you wonder, what did they go to war for if people come out at the end with certain things they didn't have before the war started? Just a little bit of a thought exercise. And speaking of thought exercises, it's hard to run your life thinking that everything is a CIA psyop or a psychopathic elected elite psyop, but just that everything's a psyop. Maybe it's heavy paranoia, and it does have its place in this crazy old world. But something didn't add up to me. What was going on, and this is unpopular opinion probably, and maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's nothing. But we all have been watching this, if you're on X, that is. Well, I guess, so this is why I brought it up today, because for the past week, there was that train stabbing in Charlotte. And if you were on X, you saw it, right? But if you were just like a diaper-wearing, elbows-up Canadian boomer, you didn't see it because it wasn't on our state-funded propaganda arm called CBC or CTV or whatever the hell the TV stations are in Canada. But likewise, in America, you didn't see it on the mainstream. There was this lag between it happening, it going to Twitter immediately. That's one of the reasons why, love him or hate Elon. I personally love him. I think he's like, well, how could anyone hate such a person that creates such cool shit? Yeah, maybe he has some personality quirks, but that's a whole other thing. So there was this lag in it, which I found kind of weird. And then due to, graphic material, okay, I never saw the original. We just saw this epic boogeyman. Let me see if is this the one? No, this epic boogeyman freeze frame, right? It's like the ultimate. Something behind you comes up, and while you're looking at your phone, etc., etc. Now, if we play the story out, it's nothing but horrible, right? It's obviously incredibly horrible. But there's a couple things that don't add up to me. One is what she's wearing. Okay. It's a very weird outfit for a knockout, beautiful, almost Ukrainian model. Okay, now, so this is where it gets weird. So this is the monster, right? Anyone who's capable of that should, what do you do with such a level of depravity, right? Is there any coming back from it? I don't know. But now, this is what in the lag between it happening, it going all over X, and then the lamestream Tardfi media picking it up. This was one second. option click it. This is what they would, this is the girl who he murdered in cold blood on the subway station. So all you saw was, first off, the bottom picture, which looks like some sort of kind of prepubescent kid, right? But they'd also show you this picture. What is that? Scarlett Johansson? That's arguably an 8 out of 10. Maybe I can't see the body, but let's just say it's an 8 out of 10. And if the body follows the face, maybe a 9 out of 10. Maybe. I don't know. There's not too many 9s. And 9s are usually like actors or models, right? I don't know. Yeah, she kind of looks like she could be a model, right? So this is what the two images that we're kind of seeing. The first one on the bottom there. Where's my arrow? Do I have my trusty arrow up here? Probably not. It's just deep in all these stupid asses. Why would I have my arrow on this thing? I have girl, Liz, guy, bull, Bitcoin, texture. What the hell is texture? Gemini. Okay. No arrow. Okay. Anyway. So the thing on the bottom, that's the boogeyman picture, right? What it conjures up is a complete vulnerability of anyone. You know, we can all feel. You can imagine that it's just sitting there, right? It's the epitome of horrible, right? And then up top is what X was showing in the gap, right? Now I don't think X has anything to do with it. It's just where you get your news fast, right? Something happens, boom, it's on X. And so there was this juxtaposition of these two, the boogeyman coming over the back, like it's just right out of a movie. It's like Jason from Friday 13th. And this top one that shows that she's arguably an 8 out of 10, right? And then I start thinking, well, what the hell is she wearing there in the subway? It's like a little kid outfit, et cetera, et cetera. And now, because I take everything back to men being losers, right? Now, any normal guy who's had a girlfriend or 2 or 10 or 20 knows that that girl isn't taking public transit. And you might be thinking, what are you talking about? Everyone take no. Girls that are 8 out of 10s do not take public transit. They do not take the bus. They do not take the train. Now, there may be some bizarre scenarios where they have to for some strange reason, but generally 8s and higher, maybe even 7s and higher, they're not taking public transport, especially dressed like that. Now, the reason they're not taking public transport is that they're girlfriended up, they're simped up, or they're squattered up. So they have one of the 3 infinite boyfriends. She may have 1 or 3, or just maybe 1 dedicated, or a husband for the love of God. If she doesn't have a boyfriend or a husband, 2, she has Simp City. She has like 20 guys who are dying to drive her anywhere at any given time. She could call the simp at 4 a.m. Hey, sorry, are you awake? Yeah, of course. Can you drive me into the city? Yeah, of course. Girl like that has a dozen simps for sure, for life. So simps are usually for life too. Same with squatters. So like to me, now a squatter is a simp, right? But like I used squatter for the past 2 decades before simp was a word. Simp kind of makes more sense, but squatters are these men that will, low key hang around the pretty girl and do favors when asked. So the difference between a squatter and a boyfriend. Let's say the boyfriend and this girl are at was going to say Polo Park. We have this mall called Polo Park, but the mall. And the girl walks by a store and says, "Oh my God, look at that pair of shoes. They're so awesome. I think I'm going to get them." Now, what the boyfriend heard was, nothing. They didn't hear anything, right? It's just a kind of a weird frequency. Now, the squatter hears, "Oh, look at these shoes. I love these shoes. Like, I'm going to go get them." He's like, "Well, put it in the bank." And then as soon as he drops her off, because he drove her to the mall, obviously, right? As soon as he drops her all, "Hey, you forgot your Macalota cappuccino triple that I bought you." Oh yeah, thanks. She gets out of the car. He goes right back to the mall and buys those shoes. That's the difference between a boyfriend and a squatter. But also the squatter, they're so deep. They're like, they get married, they have kids, they have whole lives around this squatter, around this girl. So sorry. And so, like, let's say the squatter's wife is having a baby. She can phone the squatter and say, "Hey, I got a flat tire. I'm at the mall. Remember where you got me those shoes?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes, honey. I'll be right back." And he's gone to the squatter. Now, that's why all these things aren't adding up to me, because we all know 8 out of 10s are not taken public. And when they do, are they dressing up in a little kid outfit? And then we have the iconic nightmare freeze frame that we're now seeing. And here's the conclusion. That lag I was talking about between incident and TardFi legacy media picking it up, there was like, I don't know, almost 5 to 7 days of complete radio silence. And then, to me, my conspiracy mind, and everything's a psyop or a honeypot, they were getting their ducks aligned, making sure all the I's and T's were dotted and crossed, making sure the backstory is solid. It never is, right? And this will all come back out in the future, because, like I said at the beginning, the end reveals the truth. So it'll either be swept up if it gets too foggy and people start catching on. Maybe this is completely ludicrous, right? But if it starts catching on and people start thinking, yeah, that is, it's kind of weird, right? It'll get swept into the news cycle and you'll never hear about it, right? So I actually thought they weren't going to show it at all, because it has to do with black on white, right? And like, who cares about black people killing white people, right? So I thought they would just keep silent on that. But it seems due to popular demand, they had to, start doing it. But they gave that lull, that gap, in order for the story to get concrete. And now we're seeing it. pianomattyb, she was going home from her job at a pizza spot. I hope you're joking, Drift Man. Because, well, this is why this story would make sense. Let's just say same logo on shirt and hat. Let's just say that's true, right? It would be the quintessential story that a bunch of clueless, out of date losers in political system or the psyop system or the honeypot system would come up with, because they have no clue that this girl would not be working at a pizza place. girls like this, they don't take public transit, and they sure as hell don't work at pizza places. Why does pizza always come up too? It's always pizza. There's always pizza, and there's these weird code words for shit. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, you have a beautiful wormhole to go down. Not beautiful, actually. It's horrific. Bullish on Parade says, "Yo, Matty, did you hear our communist Canadian overlords may be giving us the castle doctrine?" What is the castle doctrine, I wonder? Let me see. Let me look this up, just so I even know what the hell it is. Castle Doctrine Canada. Oh, I have it on images. Yeah. Castle walls won't fix Ford. Oh, sorry, you can't see this. It's on a different page, but I'll just be is broken in self-defense rules. Man was charged with this is horrible. This is probably Canadian. No wonder. I don't know what that is. Is it something about protecting your house or what have you? If that is, I mean, I did that post. I think everyone saw that post about it. It's like I ordered some weird stuff online actually for the house because getting guns in Canada is let me see this. Is the story she was highly drag them off the porch. They want to restrict guns too much. Your house is your castle and you can actually defend your family with force, i.e. pew pew. Oh, no, I didn't see that. See, that would have been like due to popular demand because we had that. Everyone saw it. The world saw it and made fun of Canada again for like the 1 millionth time. Canada is like the best thing to make fun of because it's just filled with political losers, right? And everything they do is wrong. But the reason why it's wrong is because they're just put in place as a test ground for the WEF political elites. It's like, well, do you think people will stay at home or you think they'll eat this shit sandwich? It's like, well, throw it into Canada, see what happens. And of course, everyone in Canada, shit sandwich. Where is it from? Oh, it's expensive. Oh, okay, we'll buy it. I don't see Canada doing the Castle Doctrine in mass due to a couple things. So there's this tipping point of socialism, communism, and it's not like 51%. So, in the illusion of democracy, we all think that it's, rule by mob by 1%, 51 rules 49. It's really not like that. That's why all these key little political patterns are hard fought for because they know, and I think it's around something between 25 and 30. Now, I can't remember that. I've read that book so long ago, The Tipping Point. But it's smaller than 51%. And if they get to there, basically it just continuously grows. And so Canada, as it pertains to Canada, government dole, people who are getting paid by the government via their silly government job, or they're actually on pension or on the dole, has reached that mark. We reached that mark in the early 2000s. So you could see the destruction of Canada as soon as that happened because those on the dole will just continually vote in people who are continuing the dole, so to speak. Bullish on parade, says Pierre Poliev, is trying to get it passed and seems like the NDP and Liberals might be on board. Yeah, well, there is a pushback in Canada all of a sudden, and that's the great thing. This is a lesson in revolution, really, because, as freedom fighters, which we all are, we wonder, is like, God, am I the only person that thinks this way? It doesn't take this general, this huge percentage of people to fight back. It really takes a small percentage that grows, exponentially, almost like a kegger, if it were. And then once that grows, the political elite, the bunch of losers that run the pedophiles and the molesters that run the government, they have to react to it in order to, mitigate the revolution. So what we see in France, like when I see the French government collapsing, whatever, maybe that is, maybe it isn't. It gives me hope that every retarded government can be overthrown. Like the last great thing Canada did was the trucker convoy. I think it opened up a bag of freedom worms or freedom genies that they can't really put back into the bottle. And it taught us a lot. And it taught a lot of, on the fence normies about money and sovereignty. It's like, you can just take your money. I thought it was my money. This was the aha moment for a lot of people. However, it did fall on a lot of deaf ears because the diaper wearing elbows up boomers were like so against the trucker thing. You wouldn't believe it. I actually thought they were joking when I would get into these conversations. They'd bring up the truckers and the convoy and how they're just the worst of the worst people in the world. I'm like, yeah, you're joking, right? No, they're not joking. So the vast majority of those people are status quo holders. So they don't want change. They don't want anything to change because their life depends on it staying the same, right? Can you imagine? It's actually sad because the diaper-wearing elbow-up boomers of Canada, they have their pension and they're willing to sacrifice, like in that video, the Gerontocracy video I put out. It's really sacrificing the young for the status quo. Like it's a reverse, and it's a sign of a failing civilization and society when that happens. Because usually, historically, the older generation will sacrifice themselves for the next generation. But when we get inverted like that, we know how far we actually are from a healthy society. Andre P, so many psyops, it's hard to keep up. I know. Between psyops and honeypots, I'm basically like the little 8-bit character in Pitfall from Atari. Dude, it's jumping like snakes and jumping pits. It's like, well, that's a honeypot. Oh, that's a psyop. It's a fun way to live, but it takes up a lot of time. Sometimes it'd be nice to just put the normie veil on again and put your elbows up and just enjoy the show, right? And to a certain degree, I do enjoy the show, but it's a sad show. Really, it deserves more fight. There's this this thing I bought online that Canadians can get that replicate a certain tool that helps defend your castle. That's on its way. I think I might get a bunch of them. I've also ordered some spray for my nieces who are 16, 17, and they're pretty and they're white. So they're huge targets here. You know that they can't even go to some friends' houses because their friends' parents don't want white girls in their house. Can you believe that that's a thing? I couldn't believe it. I was having this conversation last night. They're like, so at school, it's normal. And they're all kind of hanging around like, as kids do. Kids don't know anything, right? They're just like, hey, everything's fun. And then they're like, oh, we're going to our house. And this is some like East Indian girls. And they're like, sorry, you guys can't come. My parents just, they don't want white people in our house, right? It's unbelievable that that's even a thing, and to the sense of humor that my nieces have, they just kind of laugh it off like that is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. But it is weird if you don't have a high tolerance and constitution and maybe your own self-worth, that type of thing could get to you. XRPA11Y, pianomattyb, you should explain elbows up. Heard it for the first time when I went to Canada this summer. Well, that was the slogan. The slogan that only diaper-wearing elbows up boomers would really get, which is roll these sleeves up, guys, because guess what? Put those elbows up. We got some work to do. Are you ready to do some work for your country? Are you ready to do it? Now, you'll sacrifice your kids for it. You'll sacrifice your grandkids for it. But are those elbows up ready to work? That's what it is. Just a slogan for dummies. And they took it hook, line, and sinker. And now it's probably, see, where my mind goes, obviously. No, it doesn't come from hockey. There you go. No, it is Mark Carney, who was our 3-card Monty installed prime minister. who you guys voting for? This guy, or this guy? Well, guess what? We're voting for this guy. This guy? Nope, that's Mark Carney. He's your prime minister. Well, we didn't vote for him. Yeah, you did. In the illusion of democracy, right? And then so all the diaper-wearing retarded boomers will be like, no, he was part of the party. That's how this works. He was part of the party and one step down so the other can... was he part of the party? Was he? Because he was actually a central banker. What's a central bank? Yeah, you can imagine how hard these decisions are. Just imagine you're arguing with one of these people and you say, well, he's a central banker. That should tell you everything. And they say, after like their diatribe about how great he is and how he was always a liberal in the Liberal Party, whatever that is in Canada. And then you say, well, he's a central banker, really. And they say, what is a central banker? When you realize, it's kind of like arguing with a toddler. You're trying to put in logic. This is why you can't, play on the garage. Because if you were to slip, you would fall and you'd seriously hurt yourself. Then you realize, well, and they say something like, well, what do you mean? I got a cape on. I'm going to fly. It's like, yeah, okay. Well, there's just no logic, right? Let's take a quick look here. After this Tuesday, this is just what you call nothing happening in Bitcoin. It's like the guy hitting the Bitcoin. Do something. Move. No, I'm just going to take a quick look at the charts there. Bruce, we're slightly up, but we know what this feels like. We get the 13K. We get the big hell no. Hell no. Right? Now we were trying to break out of this. I did fake you out. Anyway. We're trying to break out of this descending channel, which we generally break out to. If you were to look at the probabilities of a descending channel, well, we're going to break out to the top. However, play devil's advocate. If we keep on getting rejected, which we are, we're getting solid rejection on this arbitrary line I drew. The arbitrary line that I keep on extending, right? So like a couple days ago, it wasn't even here. Now I extended. We're still getting that respect and that authority from this level. And if we keep doing it, it's just logical that the sellers will win and then the boat will tip back down to, this 107, 101. And then we'll be like all biting our nails like, is it going to break? Is it going to break? So I would like to see it. But like I said last week, wake me up at the 200 moving average, for Christ's sake. Like, don't knock on my door. Don't phone me. Don't text me, except for when we hit the 200 moving average, because that's really the only place that we're remotely poised to change something. Until we get that, if it let go, this is how we get there. If you really want to make a mountain out of a molehill, Bruce. I know Bruce loves to make mountains out of molehills. So here we go. Oh, God. Let's just look at this as a little baby bull flag. Little cute, oh baby bull flag. Just to see how we get there. Little cute, little baby bull flag. While you take the pole. Oh, come on. Take the pole. You slide it all to the breakout point. Then we're all at 114.3. That's how this would break out. If one wanted to be extremely bullish, making a mountain out of a molehill. And to be honest with you, when the price hasn't moved in over a year, I'll take a mountain over a molehill any day.
Make sure you like